Good day, welcome to GoodX Web Fundamental Training. We are going to do the training today to how to use GoodX Web from your daily functions until monthly and weekly functions. Now, to start with the training, we will have certain sections that we're going to go through the day, and it's also set in certain time slots. Now, if we log in to the Learning Center, now the Learning Center is our online user manuals and also any information that you need on GoodX. You will also be able to find it on the Learning Center. Now, I'm going to show you how to log into the Learning Center. You will receive an email from the admin department in GoodX Practice, and they will send you an email with your login details and also with the link to log in to GoodX on the Learning Center. Now, I want to show you how the Learning Center looks like. If you use this URL, learning.goodx.co.za/login, then you will get to the home page. It will ask you a username and it will ask you a password. Now, if you click on login, you type in your username and password, and then you get to the home page. Now, the home page is divided in certain sections. You will see here is the medical and dental practices. You have your GoodX Web, and then your hospitals, and also your credit control, accounting, creditors, and stock. You can also see there's your GoodX Switch and your portal. Then you have settings and manage, and your how to use that, and then also integrations that GoodX have, and backups and system requirements. Now, if you go a little bit down, you will also see here is our nutshells. Now, we do once every 2 weeks, we do a nutshell. So the nutshells include any new functions that GoodX have, or functions that we think that the clients must know a little bit more about, and we will do that a lot in the future. Now, if you go also a little bit down, you will see here is some comparisons between 7.6 is our older versions, between the newer versions, and then also the categories that is on the Learning Center. Now, that what is really nice, if you click on this booklet, it will take you directly to that section. Now, on the Learning Center, you will see there is roadmaps. Now, the roadmaps is divided between the terminology and also the functions in GoodX and how to access the certain functions. Now, if you click on the glossary and say roadmaps, then you will see it starts with alphabetic order. Any term that we are using in GoodX, you will find under the glossary. And in the glossary also, it will show you the shortcuts, where to get to that function, and also if there is certain, say for instance, 3 or 4 ways to get to the same function, it will show you the 4 or 5 different ways to get to that function. And it will explain to you exactly what we mean by the terminology that we are using in GoodX. And if you want to go back, you can just click on here on the home, and you can immediately go back to your home page. Now, then we have our guidelines. Now, our guidelines is booklets, and this explains to you why are you doing the certain functions in GoodX, or how do you manage your practice on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. So it's important, the booklet describes for you why are you going to do this and how are you going to manage your practice. So it's important that you read through this, through the diary and medical debtors, and also you have the medical debtors, that's the one without the diary, and then you have your internal controls in a medical practice, and this is your flow of what is your responsibilities through the year. You can see here is a daily internal controls, and we have our weekly internal controls, monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, and then your yearly internal controls. So this you must every day print it out and put it somewhere that you can see it on a daily basis, and make sure that all of this you cover in your daily, monthly, weekly process in your practice. So this in the internal controls is really important that you go and read through it. We are still busy developing on this. It will be finished in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then there will be much more information inside that one. Then also we have the starting a new dental practice and best practice guides we have on our learning center. So if you want to start a new dental practice, here is guidelines that you can use. And then if you want to go back to the home page again, you click on home. Now this is your user, the X's you can see is your user manual. So this explains to you how do you do this. So now if you click on diary module, you will see here is the overview of the diary, and then we have, for instance, book new patient, new walking patient, book existing patient. I just want to go back. I want to go to the GoodX Web part because we are doing GoodX Web training today. So if I click on medical and dental booklet, then you will see there's the GoodX Web booklet and then the guidelines, and then you will see here how to access the GoodX Learning Center for GoodX Web, and then GoodX Web YouTube tutorials. So the tutorials shows you as little small videos to show you how we are using this function. Now if I'm just going to give you an example, you can see here is all of the different user manuals. So if I click on book new patient, for instance, first you will see the video that was done, and then you will see step by step. If you want to read through it and see the pictures, you can see the pictures, and this is our user manuals. Now the video, I'm going to play a little one that you can see how this works. If you click on play.
Hello and welcome to another GoodX Web training session. In this video, we will be showing how to create a booking for a new debtor or patient. Start by double clicking on a time slot that you want to create the booking in. In the booking details area, you can fill in the details for the booking. Then you can start to fill in the required fields.
So that is only an example of how the videos looks like. There is almost for all of the functions already videos that you can, if you don't want to read, you can also look at a video. And then you can always go back and forth depending on, and you can pause if you want to take it a little bit slower. And also you will see previous webinars that we have done. We will keep the best, and then we will put it under the sections that we have. Now I'm just going to show you the overview of the practice. We are going to handle today the appointments, and then the diary administration we will do in one section, and then we have our clinical information, we have our billing and billing corrections we will handle in another one, and then we have a claim administration, your receipting, the receipt controls, receipt corrections, and then also your debt management and reports. So this is the flow that we're going to do today through the training that we are going to manage today. And then under certain sections we are going to discuss certain functionalities in GoodX, and on the Learning Center you will see under each section which type of function we are going to use or to discuss. If you have any questions, please use the live chat on the right hand side of your YouTube channel. If you go a little bit down, you will say top chat. If you click on that, you can choose the live chat. You will, if it's the first time that you are creating a channel, please just say next, and then you can create your name and surname there that we can see who are we speaking with. And then also change your quality of your video to 720. So if you hover over the YouTube channel or the YouTube video, you will see there comes a setting icon. Click on the setting, then quality, and then you choose 720. Then the screen won't be blurry. And then also please make sure that you are live. So on the left hand side on your video, it will show there is a live button. If it's a red dot, then you know you're also live. Otherwise you will have a delay and you will not be with the same time as we are. And you can pause the video and you can go back while we are giving the training. Okay. Then I'm just going to give you a little bit of a history of GoodX. GoodX is now almost 35 years old. We've started as a financial system, and then we've moved on with a medical system and dental and any speciality that you can think of. We definitely have a product for them, and also hospitals and day clinics and all of that stuff. Now, GoodX has at this stage a lot of clients and a lot of different types of clients, and we have a GoodX product that is written in Delphi, and we have a GoodX Web product that is written in JavaScript. So the difference between the two, the one is a web base, so you can go anywhere, any place with that one, and you can log into your practice at any time. And then we have the server, you can say the normal GoodX, if I can call it like that. That is not a web based, but you have a RDP that you log in, or otherwise it is installed on your server. So the difference between the two, they are looking a lot different, but still they're using the same database. So even if you do a transaction in the one, it will definitely display in the other one. There is some functionality still in the older GoodX that we are using, like stock management and financial management, that is not yet in the GoodX Web. Okay. The GoodX Web is really strong about clinical notes and clinical information, where GoodX at that stage is not that with all the nice pictures that is in web, that is not in the normal GoodX. Okay. If you have any questions, luckily all of you guys that are watching today are GoodX Web, so we're going to do GoodX Web training today. And then I did do the practice management big picture for you guys. Now, how to request support. Now, if we go back to the home page and we go a little bit down, I just want to see where on the home page it is. Critical business process booklet. If I make this a little bit bigger, you will see all of our different types of wheels that we are working through. Here is the diary and medical debtors. So this is your workflow. You will also find this on your learning center under the correct department that you have chosen. Then we have the medical debtors management without the diary, and then we have our hospital one. This debtor transaction is a really important one. We will come to that, but this shows you the different types of transactions and how to correct the different types of transactions. We will definitely come back to this again through the day's training. Then we have our patient portal. Now that is Migrant Central. Migrant Central is an app that the patients can use and the doctors can use. Now you can put on their scripts and you can put on sick notes for the patient, and the patient can share any data, demographical data or otherwise clinical data with the doctor. So if the patient creates their file on their phone, if they have the app, or otherwise if you buy a kiosk from GoodX, then you get a tablet and a keyboard and everything that is mounted on a table or otherwise mounted on a wall, and the patient can create his own electronic file and you can just import it into GoodX. So what is nice, if you have a long queues at your reception and the patient is getting impatient, you can always use Migrant Central and the kiosk that the patients can create their own files. Normally, patients, if they have another option to stand in long queues and they have another option that they can do it, they create their files themselves, they will definitely take that option. You will get some patients that say, no, I'm not I don't want this new stuff. Can you please help me? And that's why you still have your reception, that the reception can handle that. Now, it's better to buy a kiosk that the patients can create their own files and you just import it, as to appoint 3 or 5 receptions if that's not necessary for that big queue that you have between 6 and 7 or between 1 and 2. Okay. So if you want more information about Migrant Central, please let us know, because we have online bookings in that, we have paperless info sharing, we have telemedicine consultations that you can do over the phone with the patients, we have interdisciplinary bookings that you can make, we also have online payments in that Migrant Central, so it's a really, really good app that you can use and to make your practice a little bit better. Okay. Then you have your switch management, we will come to that, and your creditors management, stock management, and account management. Now, I just want to show you, to help you to request support from your FCL. You can, first let me go a step back. FCL is your first client liaison. We at GoodX assign certain personnel to certain practices. So every personnel in GoodX or in the medical department or in the hospital department, they have a certain list of clients that they have to look after. And if you have any problems, then you can contact them to help you with that problem or that with what you're struggling. Now, we call it the FCL, and then what is really nice, we have a ticket system. So you send in an email to GoodX, help@goodx.co.za, and you will receive a ticket number back immediately. Now, why is this important? Because you receive communication back that you did log a problem. So we at GoodX know, and we have record of all of the stuff that is a problem or otherwise what you're struggling with. And if you don't send in that email, we don't have record that you have requested any help from GoodX, and we can't take it further. So please use the help@goodx.co.za, and if you can't work, then you send your email and phone in immediately with your ticket number and ask, can you please get support? They will put you through to your FCL, and if the FCL is out of the office, you have a SCL, and that's a second client liaison, or any other one on the floor that will be able to help you. So if the FCL is not here, then anybody else can help you. But it's nice if you can speak to your FCL or send the emails in to help@GoodX, because they know your practice and they know your setup of your practice. Now, what happens if you send in help@goodx.co.za, you will receive the ticket number back, and then GoodX will allocate the ticket to the FCL. So because you have sent it an email, we know your email addresses with the installation and all of that. We get that information from you guys, and then we know when you send that ticket from that email address, who are you and to which FCL we must link this ticket to. And then the client contacted by the FCL, so the FCL will contact you as soon as possible when they are available, and then they will, even with a cell phone or otherwise with TeamViewer, and then they will resolve the problem, and you will get an email back to confirm that your problem was resolved. So please use the help@GoodX. It's definitely to help you guys and also to help us. Okay, and then we have our nice front page of the Learning Center. Now the important part, how to log into your GoodX Web. So if I'm going to click here, you received an URL from your FCL with your login details. Now what is important, this is your home page, your logo of your practice if you did send us your logo. If you didn't send us your logo, please send us your logo, then we can put your logo on here and immediately you see your logo on the front page. And also on any other documentation that you print out of GoodX, your logo will be displayed. Now you will see you have a username and you have a password. Now the username is access controlled. Now the important part of a username is with the username, there is certain functions that are allowed to be used by that username. So it's important that you have your own password and you're not sharing usernames. So everybody that is working on the system in your practice must have their own username. Now please use your own usernames, and it's better to create usernames according to the personnel, even if they are going to resign or only working temporarily for you, because on all the reports and all the history, their username is printed, and you will definitely see what was changed on that in that section. It doesn't matter if it's an ID number that was changed, you will definitely see the changes linked to that username. So say for instance there was an invoice was done and the invoice was done incorrectly, you'll immediately see who the user was who made that invoice. Okay, so now you're going to use your username and password, and you're going to say login. Sorry. Please, if you have any questions, please type it in the live chat that we can handle the questions. Some of the questions we will discuss immediately, or otherwise just answer back on the live chat again, but we will definitely answer all of your questions before the end of the day. Now this is your diary. Now GoodX Web is working with a diary, and it's nice to put everything on the diary. You can change, we will come to that, you can change the look and the feel of the diary, and then we call it a working list that you're working with if you don't want to use a diary. Now just an overview of the diary. You will see here is some tabs. You have your diary, then you have your debtors. So this is your list of all of your patients that you already created. Then you have your reports and your tasks. The hospital department, the hospital tab is theatre management, bed management and case management. And then you have admin, and under admin is also a lot of different functions that we will still come to. I just want to close here. And then we have our IM, and that is instant messages that you can use. And also you have your DV, and that, sorry, let me just go out here. Okay. We'll still come to this part also in a little bit later stage, and then I will explain to you all of the nice functions that we have here. Okay. So if we go back to the diary, so always you will see there's a close button on the bottom, or otherwise you can click on the correct tabs if you want to go to the correct place. Now you will have different diaries per doctor or different diaries per service center, depending on how do you want to work in your practice. Now then you have your display options. We will come to that when we have a little bit more bookings also. You will have options to say show all bookings, then all of the bookings will be shown. If you click on that one, it will show all bookings. Otherwise, if you say only show active bookings, so all the cancelled bookings will not be displayed on your diary. And then you have your tasks, so you can say show all of the closed tasks or hide tasks, depending on what you want to see on your diary. Then you have the filter booking, so it's a search function. And then on this side, you can go back to the previous day, or otherwise to the front. And if you click on now, it will take you to the day and at the correct time on how late it is right now. And then if something happens and your internet is a little bit slow, you can always click on refresh and it will refresh the screen for you. Then we have diary types. Now with the diary types, we have the diary, we have also the multi-day view, and here it will show you the day views. Now on the day views, you can also say how many days do you want to see. You want to see 8 or 5 days or 4 days, depending on how many days do you want to see. Then if you want to go back, you click on diary type and you say again diary, and it will take you back to your normal diary screen. Or otherwise you also have the multi-diary view, and that means the different types of doctors. So if we had more doctors here assigned to different diaries, you will definitely see the different doctors. You can also drag and drop the bookings between the different doctors. If the one doctor can't see that patient, you can always drag it to another doctor. And then you have your order diary. We will still also come to this a little bit later, but it shows you a lot of different types that you can filter on and search on. That's a really nice function if you want to check something. And go back to our diary. Then we have our render policies. Now I'm just going to make a quick entry that I can show you the different types. I'm going to show you with the next section a really nice slowly how to do this, so don't stress about that. Okay, now the different render policies that we have is the time slot overlap. So if I make another booking here, sorry, 8:45. it will immediately warn you that this booking is overlapping with the other one. That is only a warning. You can say save. Okay, so now with the render policy overlapping, you will see it overlaps each other. So if you click on the one, it will overlap to the other one. So it will show you both on your diary, but if you click on it, then it's going to make the booking line longer. Okay, so that is the overlap. Then we have the stack one. So if you have double bookings, it will be underneath each other and not next to each other. And then we have the stack by time. It will take away all the other open bookings. You can still click on the new booking and it will, then you can make a new booking, but it will stack it according to the time it was booked. Okay, then we have the stack by type. Now you will see here we have different types, so it the type will explain, we will come to that also, but the type is we will come to that when I show you how to create your own types and then statuses. So you will see here is a consultation and then a follow-up and follow-up, so it will group it by the types of the appointment, or otherwise you have the stack by status, and then you will see we have statuses booked, and then arrived. So then it will stack it by the status. If you want to see the normal one again, you say time slot, normal time slot again. Okay, so you will say time slot overlap or otherwise time slot stacked. Okay, then we have, if you click on one of the bookings, we have a sidebar, and on the sidebar we have a lot of different types of information about the patient, about the main member, and then certain functions that you can do from the sidebar, and then also SMSs, email, add documents, and also we will come to that in the training. You have your click here to view procedures or RCD things. So if you click on the eclipse, it will open a list of all your procedures, codes, and also all of your ICD things that is loaded on your system. You have your procedure codes, you have your materials, your medicines, and also your macros. Then you can print your diary. So if you know you're going to have load shedding tomorrow and you don't have power, then you can print your diary, and it will ask you if you want to print all of the whole diary for the day or for a week or for 2 weeks, and then you can just tell the system which days do you want to print, and if it must keep the open slots or must it hide the open slots for you. And then you have your search for data bookings. Now this, for instance, say the patient phones in and they ask you, I can't remember when is my booking. Can you please search for me and see when is my booking that I have? So if I'm searching, say for instance this one, it will immediately show me this patient has a booking between that date, today, or on the 2nd of April at 10:30, the starting time of this booking will already happen, and there is the ending time. So it depends on what you want to see. Here you can also say search for deleted bookings. So if the patient phones in, and then you have available time slots. So if the patient phones in, immediately if you click on that one, if your diary is really busy and the patient asks you, I want to see what open time slots do you have tomorrow, then you just say, okay, start date, tomorrow's date, and the end date tomorrow, and then you can say how many slots it must show you, and you can immediately see which times is available for the patient, and you can double click on one of them and it will open that time slot for you, and you can make a booking according to that. Then you have your new bookings, we will also do that, and then you have your emergencies. So if you book an emergency, the patient will automatically be marked as arrived. Okay. Then here it shows your entity that you're logged in, your username that you're logged in, and then you have your settings, we'll come to that. And if you click on about, it will show you if you're on the latest version and how are your internet connection. And here you log out or logged in your in your GoodX Web again. Okay. So is there any questions on the overview of the diary or otherwise the history of GoodX? Any questions about a learning center or how to log in? Please ask us now, and then we are going to take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to start with the appointments and the diary administration.